Good morning, students. Today we will study about how shareholders of a company likely to gain with the capital employed, with the debt component in the capital employed. This topic was left out in our first chapter, right, of second book. I am covering this chapter, this topic, that how shareholders get a benefit from having a debt component or loan component in the capital employed. How shareholders of a company likely to gain with the debt component, debt or loan component in the capital employed. How and when? How and when? They will get, whether they will get benefit? Yes. How? When their EPS increases. When their EPS increases. EPS is earning per share. Earning per share. When ROI is greater than interest on debt. ROI is return on investment. Yes, they will likely to gain with the loan component in the capital employed when their earning per share increases. And when it will happen? It will happen when ROI is greater than interest on debt. No. How? When their earning per share decreases, when ROI is less than interest on debt. When ROI is less than interest on debt. Right? If question comes whether shareholders were likely to gain with the loan component in the capital employed, you will say yes, but only when ROI is greater than the rate of interest. Now we will explain these two situations with the help of numerical example. Right? Have you understood what this question conveys to you? That if we have raised the funds, then from the fund raised, if we raise more funds from debt or loan, whether the shareholders gain from it, whether shareholders have some benefit from it, that we are explaining. Yes, they will definitely get a benefit when ROI is greater than interest on debt or loan, you can say, right? Now we will explain this with the help of numerical example, right? Let us assume a situation 1, 2, 3. Let us say a situation when EBIT is 4 lakh, 4 lakh, 4 lakh. 4 lakh 4. What is EBIT? Profit before interest and tax. Profit before interest or earning before interest, 4 lakh, 4 lakh, 4 lakh. Let us assume this 4 lakh figure we have assumed. This figure we have assumed, right? Say there are 3 situations. Total fund, or we can say capital raised, suppose it to be 30 lakh. Then A situation, B situation, C situation. In A situation, let us assume to be no debt. In B situation, debt of rupees say 10 lakh. In third situation, say debt of rupees 20 lakh. And we assume rate of interest at the rate 10% per annum. That means loan or debentures, you can say. You all know that there is a fixed rate of interest on debentures. So we have assumed that we have raised 30 lakh rupees, right? From 30 lakh rupees, in first situation there is no debt. It means whole this 30 lakh rupees we have raised from issue of equity shares, right? There is no debenture or loan component in this, in A situation. In B situation, we have assumed that debenture is of 10 lakh, means out of 30 lakh, 10 lakh is raised from debentures and rest 20 lakh from equity, right? In the third situation, we have assumed that out of 30 lakh, 20 lakh raised from debt or loan and rest 10 lakh raised from equity shares. We have assumed this situation. Now, the earning before interest and tax is 4 lakh, 4 lakh, 4 lakh minus interest. At the rate 10%. Since there is no debt, no debenture in first situation, rate of interest will be nil. In second situation, there is a debt of rupees 10 lakh. 10% of 10 lakh is 1 lakh. In third situation, debt is of 20 lakh, then 10% of 20 lakh will be 2 lakh. This is the situation. Then earning before tax. Earning before tax 4 lakh, 3 lakh, 2 lakh. Earning before tax is 4 lakh, 3 lakh, 2 lakh. Right? Minus tax at the rate 30% assumed. The 30% tax. The earning before interest tax पे tax लगा 1,20,000, 90,000, 60,000. 30% of 4 lakh, 30% of 3 lakh, 30% of 2 lakh. Then we get 2,80,000, 2,10,000, 1,40,000. Right? 2,80,000, 2,10,000, 140. Is it clear? Right? Then number of shares. Let us assume share price rupees 10 each. Share price rupees 10 each. Now in the first situation, since 30 lakh rupees there is no debentures, so it means we have raised these 30 lakh rupees only from shares. Then number of shares will be 30 lakh upon 10, 3 lakh. In second situation, debenture is of 10 lakh. It means remaining 20 lakh issue from share, 20 lakh rupees issued from share, then 10 rupees each. The number of share will be 2 lakh. Similarly, in third situation, 20 lakh issued from debentures, then remaining 10 lakh from shares. 10 lakh upon 10 is 1 lakh. Right? Earning per share, EPS. Full form of EPS, earning per share. Earning per share. Formula is this upon this. 280 upon 3 lakh. There is a formula for calculating earning per share. Profit after tax upon number of shares. 2,10,000 upon 2 lakh. 1,40,000 upon 1 lakh. right? Then 2,80,000 upon 3 lakh, it comes 0.93, right? 0.93. Then 2,10,000 upon 2 lakh, it comes 1.05. Then 1,40,000 upon 1 lakh. So you see, they earn rupees 0.93, 1.05, 1.4 per share. Means shareholders are getting benefit from each share 0.93, 1.05, 1.4. It means when we when debt is zero, then shareholders are getting a benefit of 0.93. When debentures are 10 lakh, in this 30 lakh, debentures are 10 lakh, then shareholders are getting a benefit of 1.05. When debentures are 20 lakh, then shareholders are getting a benefit of 1.4. The benefit accruing to them has been increased with increased use of debt. So can we conclude, with issue of more debt, shareholders earnings increases, shareholders get a benefit, get a gain with the loan component in the capital employed? Can we conclude? No. Why they are getting benefit? That is very important to know. Why they are getting benefit? It is very important to know. They are getting benefit because in this situation, ROI, that is profit before interest and tax upon capital employed, into 100, that is 4 lakh upon 30 lakh into 100, that is 13.33%. 13.3% is greater than interest on debt, that is 10%. We assume to be interest on debt to be 10%. हमने assume किया था interest on debt कितना लिया था हमने 10%, तभी हमारा interest आया था, right? So in this situation, since ROI is greater than interest on debt, that's why they are getting a benefit. Means with increased use of debt, their benefit is increasing. Why? Because ROI is greater than interest on debt in this situation, right? Right. Now let us take the next situation. Let us take the next situation, right? We assume earning before interest and tax to be 2 lakh. 2 lakh. 2 lakh. Situation 1, situation 2, situation 3. Let us assume to be 2 lakh. Then minus interest as usual. We have taken the same figures, right? But earning we have changed from 4 lakh to 2 lakh. Then interest 10%. In first situation interest is nil. Second situation interest is 1 lakh. Third situation interest is 2 lakh. Third situation when debt was 20 lakh na, and 10% 2 lakh. Then earning before tax will be 2 lakh, 1 lakh, it will be nil. Then tax at the rate 30%, 60,000, 30,000, then nil again, no tax since there is no earnings. 1,40,000 earning after tax. 1,40,000, 70,000, nil. Number of equity shares in this situation is also, number of equity shares is 3 lakh, then 2 lakh, 1 lakh. Then EPS will be 1,40,000 upon 3 lakh, 70,000 upon 2 lakh, nil upon 1 lakh. Now in this circumstance, if you clearly see this, in this circumstance 1,40,000 upon 3 lakh, you will see to it earning per share is 0.47. However, in this situation 70,000 by 2 lakh, you will see earnings is 0.35 and here is nil. तो इस सिचुएशन में तो डिबेंचर्स वैसे के वैसे ही इंक्रीज हो रहे हैं, दे आर इंक्रीजिंग, बट स्टिल शेयर होल्डर्स आर, द बेनिफिट अक्रूइंग टू शेयर होल्डर इज रिड्यूसिंग, राइट? सो कैन वी से दैट विद इंक्रीज इन डेट shareholders get the benefit? No. Why it is happening in this situation? Why it is happening in this situation? Why? Because in this situation again, ROI, that is profit before interest and tax, upon capital employed into 100, that is 2 lakh upon 30 lakh into 100, 2 lakh upon 30 lakh into 100, you will see what is ROI. ROI will be 6.67%. So ROI is less than interest on debt, that is 10%. So in this circumstances, ROI is less than interest on debt. So with increase in debt, shareholders are not getting benefit. Their benefit is reducing, right? Benefit is reducing with increased use of debt. So from the above two numerical examples, we can conclude that from above to a numerical example, we can conclude that when ROI is greater than interest on debt, ROI is less than interest on debt, benefit reduced benefit to shareholders, reduced benefit, their benefit reduces, they are not likely to gain with the loan component, or you can see they gain from debt, they do not gain from debt in the total capital employed. Is it clear? This was a topic which I want to cover. Numerical question, 3 marker, 4 marker or 5 marker question can come on this. If it is asked that explain the concept of trading on equity with the help of example, you have to explain the same thing. Thank you.